Guys, companies are getting inundated, especially right now, with inquiries on selling their products on Amazon. And I cannot tell you enough that this is what I'm hearing from companies that I already work with, and that everybody is saying the same thing. So you have to differentiate yourself, and it's key that we are using sales tactics, which means that you have to learn what the pain points are of these companies before you can even begin to formulate a sales pitch or a value proposition, so that you know what the issues these companies have are. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new on this channel, we explore tips, strategies, and experiences that I have had that will help you start and build up your Amazon FBA wholesale business. We are going to be covering some great content in this video. In this video, I'm going to share with you my best method for closing accounts. I have my whiteboard behind me. We're going to touch on my sourcing methods, and then we're going to go into some detail on how I actually provide value to brands and suppliers on the phone. So some long-awaited content, and this is really my number one method to gaining more wholesale accounts. It's a no BS method, and this video is going to provide you with a ton of insight and knowledge on what to actually say on the phone and how to close more wholesale accounts and add more profitable wholesale inventory to your Amazon business. Before we get into it, I do have a few key announcements that I'm going to make. The first announcement is that we are closing in on 400 subscribers, which means I am going to be giving away 4 free phone calls to any of my subscribers once we have reached that 400 mark. So thank you guys so much for the support. The second key announcement that I have is that we have just launched the Amazon FBA Wholesale Start, Build, Scale Facebook group. So make sure you guys check that Facebook group out. I'm leaving a link for the group in the description. So this Facebook group is going to be a great place for you guys to get your questions answered, and I'm going to provide as much free, valuable content that I can in this group. Whether you're a new Amazon FBA seller and you haven't sold any inventory yet on Amazon, or if you're an experienced seller, everyone is welcome to join this group. If it wasn't for Facebook groups in my beginning stages of starting Amazon, that is what has really enabled me to gain so much knowledge from other people who are already doing and living the Amazon FBA business, specifically the wholesale business. That's one thing that's critical about starting and building up an Amazon FBA wholesale business, and that is learning from more experienced sellers. So a Facebook group is a great place to learn from experienced sellers. Really, I learn something new every day, and I follow sellers who are more experienced than me, and I track what they're doing, and I look at what their advice is in order to help me grow my Amazon FBA wholesale business every day. And that's the thing about this business, is that it's every day I learn something new. So super excited for those 2 announcements. Make sure you guys check out the Facebook group. I'll leave a link for that in the description. If you guys do enjoy these videos, smash that like button. If you want to be eligible for the free phone call giveaway, once we've hit 400, smash that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So in this video, we are covering everything that you need to know in order to close more profitable wholesale accounts for your business. And this essentially comes down to, as I've said in previous videos, a sales position where how many accounts can you close, because the amount of profitable inventory that you have is a percentage of how many accounts you call. Basically, the process from start to finish is source the company, call the company, and then if you are successful on the phone or on email, you would then obtain a price list. You would then go through that price list to determine if the inventory is profitable, and if it is profitable, then you would be able to sell that inventory through your storefront on Amazon. As you guys know, the amount of profitable inventory that you procure is a very, very low percentage, somewhere around 2 to 3%. So depending on what your level of experience is, you most likely will be hovering around 2 to 3% closure rate as a beginner. Now this can go up as you move along. My account closure rate is a lot higher than 2 to 3% at this point, and that's because I've gotten very good at doing the 3 main things that you see on the whiteboard behind me. So let's jump right into that content. The first piece of content that I want to share with you guys is preliminary to calling any companies, is that we have to be sourcing the right companies. And what are the right companies? The right companies are small to mid-sized brands, not your huge household names, because these household names are just huge companies that are either not going to sell to you, or they will delegate you to a distributor, which most likely is not going to be profitable. So we have to make sure that we are sourcing the right products and the right companies. So in order to land more profitable wholesale accounts, we have to make sure that we are executing the proper sourcing methods, which is reverse sourcing and storefront stalking. When you dive into sourcing through these tactics, you are able to narrow down more to niche level categories, and you're able to find the profitable companies that are in fact willing to sell to you and allow you to sell on Amazon. As you guys know, about 90% of the companies that you reach out to, even higher than 90%, are not going to be open to taking on more Amazon sellers. And this can be due to a number of reasons, and that's what we are going to break down in this video. What are these reasons? So once you have mastered the proper sourcing techniques, we then get into what are you actually saying on the phone to these companies. And I get this question a lot because it can be a little bit intimidating and confusing at first once you make that first phone call. However, that's what it's all about, is guys, you just have to jump on the phone and start making phone calls. And if you are a beginner and you've never had any sales experience, I do recommend going off of some type of a phone script so that you do know what you're going to say to these companies on the phone, because you want to be efficient and you want to be communicating with them in a proper way so that the point that you're trying to get across is clear. So point number 2 is going to be value. So this is going to be key when it comes to landing more wholesale accounts for your Amazon business. And it's really key in any sales job in general, because the more value that you can provide, the more likely that the other party is going to listen to you. And this is what it comes down to. So the first point that I want to address is listen. And that's one of the most important skills in sales, which most people don't realize. And that is, you have to listen to the person or the company that you are trying to convince on the phone. What do I mean by this, and what does this look like exactly? I challenge you this. Jump on the phone, call 10 to 20 companies Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. And what you can do with this is just listen to them and ask about how their sales are on Amazon. Ask about different components of perhaps their listing on Amazon and just how Amazon is going in general. You can just get on the phone and communicate with them and learn more about their business and address Amazon in a way where it sounds like you're not asking them to sell their products on the platform. So once you've called 10 to 20 companies, I challenge you to write down every issue that each company has with Amazon. You're most likely going to start seeing some common themes with each company that you are in fact calling. As you're writing these points down, this is what you're then going to utilize in component number 2, which is providing your value propositions. So value on the phone is essentially, the first step is you're finding out their pain points, and then the next step is, once you've gathered all of the pain points of the suppliers that you have communicated with, you can then take those pain points and address them through value propositions and make those pain points pleasure points. So maybe the company has an issue with their listing on Amazon, their images, bullet points, different components like this. Maybe there's a bunch of sellers inundating them, asking for an Amazon wholesale account. However, you're going to provide X, Y, and Z for them, and here is what you know because you have learned that from other companies that you've communicated with on the phone and worked with. And this is the key component, and that is that we are giving and we're listening to the supplier and we're not asking. So that is absolutely critical. The third point that we are going to touch on is persistency. And this is critical, and it's a point that most people forget about during the process of reaching out to companies. And I'm going to share with you guys a little story that I have on persistency that has proven successful for me. So any company that I reach out to, if the answer is we're not taking on Amazon sellers at this time, however, please reach out in the future, I mark a date on my calendar that I am in fact going to reach out and follow up with the company. And that is critical because things do change as time goes on. Going back in the summer of 2019, I reached out to this company and I did have a good conversation with a gentleman at the company regarding my interest in opening an account with them and selling their products on Amazon, but the answer was no at the time. Fast forward, I reached out the following year in January of 2020. So this year of 2020, at the beginning of the year, I reached out to them and I spoke to the same gentleman. Conversation was good. They still were not taking on Amazon sellers. Fast forward into the summer, July of 2020, this year, I called them again just to follow up and communicate with them, provide them a little bit of value, address certain pain points that they had when I had communicated with them the first two times. And this time the gentleman on the phone escalated me to an individual that deals more with Amazon in general. So I then had a great conversation with this other person at the company, and the answer was still that they were cleaning up their Amazon and were not taking on more wholesale accounts at this time. But she encouraged me to please reach out in 3 to 4 months, and she made sure that I went to the top of the list in terms of who was interested in their products. So it's a lot more promising the third time around when you show and express interest in the brand and not just ask for a wholesale account and then hang up the phone when they say no. And that's what persistency is all about, is we have to focus on providing that value, and you're just giving the company little snippets of value over time so that they remember your name and your company and you're at the top of the list. So that is my best piece of advice. This is my no BS that I'm going to give you in order to land more profitable wholesale accounts for your business. That is it for this video. If you guys do enjoy these videos, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you want to stay up to date on all of the future wholesale content that I will be releasing. As a reminder, check out the link below. Join the Facebook group, Amazon FBA Wholesale. We're going to help you start, build, and scale your Amazon business. And we're going to help you do it quick because we are going to provide some great, valuable content in this Facebook group, from beginners who have never sold anything on Amazon to experienced sellers. It's just going to be a great place where you can ask any questions, and we're going to have a great free flow of ideas. So I'm super excited for this group. I think it's going to provide a community where we can share knowledge and new sellers can learn a lot from this group. So check that group out if you guys are interested. Second announcement reminder, smash that subscribe button because we are giving away 4 free phone calls once I've hit 400 subscribers. If you are a subscriber, you are eligible for this free phone call. Thank you guys so much for watching and the continued support on YouTube. Leave a comment if you have any questions at all about anything related to Amazon FBA Wholesale. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next time.